Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon or good evening. It's your crypto educator, Mr. Joel, here for another episode of Crypto Education. So, today we're going to be starting off a little bit different. I'm going to be doing some topics and then some Q&A. As you can see, I got a little thing right here, a little bit of topics and some visuals for you guys, because I know everyone loves to see visuals. So it's really great seeing everyone. I'm just going to say hi to everyone at the start of the show, and then if you have questions or comments, do put them in the box. I have a team of people actually pulling questions for me to answer. So what you guys are going to do is, if I talk about this first topic right here, what you'll do is ask questions if you have them about the topic, and I will answer them at the end of each segment. Okay, if that kind of makes sense. So yeah, how's everyone doing today? Tim, how's it going, brother? How's everyone else doing? Anyone else here? Just come on and say hi, because what I'm going to try and do now is say hi to everyone first, and then we're going to jump into the news. So I feel like a lot of you guys should be more on the ecstatic side of things this day, because the Bitcoin run-up was very nice to watch today. You know, kind of opened my eyes. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Here's a really cool thing as well. What else I noticed is another thing that's awesome was the tipper contest on Crypto Warriors. And I was within $2.64. That was pretty cool. So that was awesome. Guessing Bitcoin prices is fun, and I use TA. So people that don't believe in it, well, I was within $2.46. So it definitely can help you when you're using the TA. All right, so without further ado, let's jump on into it. I'm being sponsored by Puma today. No, I'm just joking. All right, so let's jump right in. Thanks a lot, David. How you doing, brother? Hopefully everything's going well with you. And yes, please do, guys, if you haven't seen yet, comment at the end of each section. I'm going to have articles and stuff, like you can see right here. And then we're going to jump into question and answer period. So please do comment and say whatever you like, because we love what you got to say. All right, let's jump in. So today we had Binance, well, 3 days ago we had Binance get hacked, or attempted to be hacked. Now that's pretty interesting. What else is really interesting is this. Binance getting hacked was not the best thing for Binance, but what did they do? How did they deal with this hack? Well, they dealt with it immensely in a positive way. How did they do that? They, first of all, locked all the accounts and reversed all the trades for Viacoin. Then they found the hackers' accounts on Binance and froze their accounts, which is awesome. And then to be even more amazing, because I love Binance so much now, even more so than I ever did before, they have a hacker bounty program. And so what that's going to do is they're going to offer $250,000 US or equivalent to anyone who supplies information that leads to the legal arrest of the hackers involved in the attempted hacking incident on March 7th, which is 5 days ago. The first person to supply substantial information and evidence that leads to the arrest of the hackers will actually get $250,000 in BNB. That's huge. So if you have information, guys, you can write to them at bounty@binance.com, as well as your local law enforcement agencies. And if your local laws allow, you may remain anonymous. Okay. So they've also further allocated equivalent $10 million in crypto reserves for future bounty awards against any illegal hacking attempts. So if you guys thought Binance was cool before, you're probably thinking the same way as me. Like, holy moly, that's awesome. And I believe it is awesome. Okay. So does anyone have any comments about the Binance hack, or what they feel? How does anyone feel about this bounty program? Does anyone like this idea? Does anyone not like this idea? I'm really curious to know, how do you feel about Binance doing this? Is it a positive for you? Is it a negative for you? What do you think? So I'm curious to know that, just more for myself to know, do you like it? Do you feel like Binance is a pretty kick-ass exchange? Because I sure do. I think it's a great exchange, and it's got a lot of things going for it. So, Binance, thank you for being so amazing. So yes, Tim, there's a question right now about, did everyone get their BNB back? The answer is yes. All people that had anything that was, done on their account in the background, all those people actually had their Binance accounts completely reinstated within an hour of the hack attempt. And then, as they said, they actually froze the accounts of the hackers, stealing all their coins. How kick butt is that, right? So, good on Binance. And this is what I was coming back to yesterday. The only issue we're going to have with fully decentralized exchanges are hacks. So we saw it with Ether Delta. That happened before. And obviously people lost tokens and coins for that. So we have to be really careful that we don't lose, when we have decentralized exchanges, that we have a really good handle on them and they have some type of security built in. Because the problem is when you use an exchange, for example, let's say we use an exchange like Ether Delta or List New Exchange. If we have our keys privately on our own Trezor and we're trading on there and it gets hacked, there's nothing we'll be able to do because there's no one overseeing it. So unregulated or completely decentralized exchanges probably will not work in the long run. And we have to realize that and acknowledge that it probably won't work in the long run. So we have to be really careful about that. All right. No more questions about Binance, and let's continue on. Okay. So I've had a few questions this week about, or let's say a few questions today about this post. So someone in our group on Crypto Warriors and a lot of other places posted this picture of Elon Musk, and he's holding a book called Cryptocurrencies. Now, a lot of people put a lot of thought and effort into that, but what I want to tell you guys is this. There is a 99.9% chance someone just literally handed him the book and he was taking a look at it. So that's the thing. Elon Musk was definitely he's a visionary in the world, and everyone knows he's said very many times that he is not a cryptocurrency holder. He doesn't have a lot of it. So when people see stuff like this, could it have been staged? Very, very likely it could have been staged. So we have to make sure that you always question things like that, because it's just a photo with him holding a book. And who knows who gave him that book, and who knows if it's actually really, who knows if it's not just someone, that guy beside him had handed him the book to, like, hey, check this out, right? So what do you guys think? Do you think that Elon Musk actually, did he really read a book about crypto? Everyone I've talked to that knows the space says, probably not. He's way too smart. He already understands how crypto works. The guy sent a freaking car to space. So we don't have to worry about that so much, do we? So, continuing on, let's get on to the next topic. So there's one thing I want to tell you guys today. So, I think I figured out why the market has gone so crazy in the negative way. What I've seen is this. I've seen 3 different factors that have led to the market having a very large downturn. Number 1, the Federal Reserve. Now, the Federal Reserve is known for creating bonds in the United States. Bonds that banks buy and no one else does. And they're supposed to be for anyone to buy, but no one else buys them because it's basically printed money from inflation, right? So what some people have said is the reason for the stock crash was they actually infused some of those bonds back into the market to change the pace, basically, like to get rid of some of those bad bonds. And you guys saw what the VIX score did. You saw VIX score is like market stability, right? So it was stable for 10 years. All of a sudden, Fed Reserve tries to get rid of some of their bad bonds and puts it in the market, and the market drops like immensely, and people lose 90% of their gains for 10 years that they left in there. So that sucked. So we have that aspect. So that's a big aspect because we may not realize that the stock market and the cryptocurrency markets do work sort of together, right? Same as Forex and stock markets do as well. Knowing this, what I would like for you guys to think about is, will the Federal Reserve continue to do this? And will it drive people slowly away from stock markets and slowly into crypto markets? That's something I truly believe we have to think about a little deeper. Okay. Now another thing, Mt. Gox. Okay, we all know Mt. Gox exists. They've sold off about 66,000 Bitcoin. But I want to give you good news. They are the reason for they basically themselves have been the reason for this market, not crash, but massive dip. Okay, and every time we have another dip and another dip, it was because they kept selling off coins. I have good news for you though. Mt. Gox can no longer sell any more coins on exchanges, and the only way they can sell them is in the OTC market. Now the OTC market is a marketplace for people to buy between each other or buying an institution from another institution. What that means is it won't affect the price of Bitcoin like it has been by them doing the massive sell-off of $405 million worth of Bitcoin. So thank God for that, because if they sold their other 166,000 Bitcoin in the market, we would see it drop down maybe to even $3,000 again. So we're hopeful that they don't do that, and they won't. But Mt. Gox is a very big factor of why we had a huge, huge dip. And you can actually see it on a chart. I'll try to pull that up at some point this week. A chart that shows every time the Mt. Gox sold, the dips that happened. It's like directly when they sold. It's pretty crazy. So Tesla coin. Ooh, is there a Tesla coin? I don't know. Would there be one? That'd be pretty cool. I would love that. But I don't think so. But we do know that one of his cars, one of the Teslas, were actually hacked and they were mining Bitcoin, which is pretty crazy because I'm sure that car was running very hot if that was the case. So you never know. All right, my third thing. So we had Federal Reserve selling off some bonds, Mt. Gox, and then the third thing. The third thing is actually something you may not be relating, but think about this. BitConnect. Okay, BitConnect had like a $4 billion market cap at one point, I believe. Maybe a little bit less. I'm pretty sure it was close to $2 or $3 billion at least. Maybe just one, but doesn't matter. It was a lot of money that they had in there. Now, a lot of people that were new to crypto were listening to Trevon James and all these guys that were shilling BitConnect. Guess what happens though? With BitConnect getting shilled, we see a big issue. And the big issue is this. When it dipped, when it went to crap, that actually, it started a really big trend. And what we saw was when BitConnect, when it went to crap and finally was cease and desisted. Sorry, I need some water. If it finally cease and desisted, what we saw was a lot of people get screwed, right? Then we see Bitcoin drop. Now you have to be in the mindset of an average person who hasn't invested in crypto yet. They see all this BitConnect stuff. They see not only BitConnect, but they see Bitcoin drop right after BitConnect had its huge downward spiral. And then when you link that all together, you go, wait a minute, that's pretty messed up, right? BitConnect really caused a lot of people to lose a ton of money. And it also caused a lot of people who are wanting to enter the market to not enter the market. Then you add the Mt. Gox and you add in the bonds, and you can see how that trifecta caused a huge dip. Not just in one market, but in several markets. So that's the thing you have to see and recognize is a fact. Naren, we'll get to that question in a little while. But yeah, so basically the three things that caused the big market dip that we've seen recently was the Federal Reserve basically selling off some of the bad bonds that they have. Number two, Mt. Gox selling off $405 million of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. They still have 166,000 Bitcoin more, but they can only sell it in the OTC market. They're not allowed to sell it on the market anymore. And I've done my research on that, but I can't pop it up for you, but that's a fact. And then BitConnect, basically throwing away a lot of people who were in the market that probably had other stuff and said screw crypto after BitConnect really messed them up. So you're going to see a lot of that. Okay, so those are the three things that I believe caused a lot of the dip, a lot of this mini crash we had. Okay, so moving on. Here's some positive news here. Cryptocurrency market moves closer to 400 billion again, as Bitcoin surged 14% in the last 24 hours. That's great news. Right now, actually, I'm just going to check, but right now I believe Bitcoin is very, very close to 10,000. Wow, it had a huge dip in the last little while. While I've been on this cast, it went from 9,800, sorry, to 93.52. I bet you money Mt. Gox just sold more. If they can, they will, and that will cause more dip. And so we're gonna see a couple more of these dips. I believe it deeply. So we're not safe yet. We're gonna be safe in a week once that volume starts ramping up, because there's people on the inside of Coinbase, there's people on the inside of Binance that are letting little whispers out, and what the whispers are saying is everything's about to go to the mountain, to the moon. People keep saying that, and they're from the exchange, but they can't tell you why or specifics, right? But that should be like, okay, what's actually happening here? I want to know. I'm curious. So it's really strange though today what I saw. I saw it go from 8,400 like last night before I went to bed to 9,500 this morning when I won the contest to 9,800, and now right now it just dropped $500. So something happened in the market, and I don't see any FUD or anything that popped up. So what I believe is people are trying to get this last little bit, and I believe that Mt. Gox sell-off, if they actually can do one more, that would be a reason why it would dip one last time. But I said to people yesterday, I believe it's going to dip one more time before we have the final run up again, when we're going to start seeing it move. So this is what you have to look forward to. Okay, so like we said yesterday, there's good news out of Korea. They're having kiosks. They're also going to be having Kakao Talk using with 12,000 merchants on there. We're going to see more and more companies start using it. We're going to see Line Messenger, which is used all across Asia, using it everywhere, linking it to their own paying system. Alipay already exists in China. They'll probably be creating some type of digital currency to use with that in the future. Maybe it's Tron, maybe it's something else, don't know for sure, but that is all these different things. And then short term wise, we're gonna see probably that Bitcoin will probably get closer to 12,000 next on its next run up, probably dip again and come back up again more, but don't expect to see the parabolic movement we saw last year. Not yet. It's going to come, but not in the first quarter of the year. Probably in quarter 3, probably somewhere around there. We'll probably see a big run up closer to June, July. We'll have a dip, and then we should see a really big run up to the end of the year, which is basically the market it's been like that for a very long time. So yeah, any questions about Bitcoin or why it's surging or not surging, etc.? No? Okay. Well, there you go. Let's continue on then. All right, so on to our next topic. Our next topic is about ADA. So, what the hell's happening with ADA? A lot of people have been asking me that recently. And so, it's on a major decline, but here's the thing. It's at 22 cents right now. It was at 20 cents, which is really, really low. And fears are there that it might be 19 or 18 cents. So it was $1.20 in January. That's the craziest side of it. It's down literally 500%. So we should see that, that's not a good thing. But why is it dropping is a good question. What's causing it to drop? So the development team recently updated their roadmap, but it doesn't seem to help them because the coin's in a downtrend, number one. One of the main concerns about them is that they don't have a well-established foundation of smart contracts using Cardano, and their development team is slow tackling that issue. But I don't think it's that really even anyways. What I'm thinking is that investors are hoping and praying that it's going to turn around. But what I also see is ADA has a huge project, and it's going to take time for that to develop. And that's okay if it takes time for it to develop, because that's what happens in life. Things take time to develop. So you know, they're going to stay in a bearish trend for a little while longer. We're going to see this downward movement right here. You can't see my hand, but you see this downward movement right there. Sorry, my hand's there, but right there. You're going to see a little bit more of that. And then we should start seeing, you know, whoop, back up again. So, you know, it is stressful to see things going down so much. Like, I'm a holder of 88 since it was like 10 cents or 12 cents or something. And even for me, I'm like, that sucks. Like, really. Because I bought more as it went up, right? So, you know, we live and we learn. But if you hodl this project and they do what their roadmap says, we're going to make really, really good backgrounds on that. So, Naren Pun asked the question, should she buy Encash? Well, number one, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't actually tell you what to buy. But what I can tell you is, number one, Tim Draper is the one who actually funded the project. Number two, they have retail stores already. Number three, there already is a product that's working for Nucleus Vision. So, is Nucleus Vision a good project? Abso-freaking-lutely, it's a good project. Another question is this. My ICO pool bought Nucleus Vision at 0.05 cents. And so our ICO pool, had you participated, you'd already be up, I think it's 4 cents, 5 cents, you'd be up 5 times, 6 times already. So the point is, a well-researched ICO like this one absolutely can make you good money, but there's just, you got to be able to sift through the garbage, and that's kind of what my team does, and myself as well. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty sweet, and we're about ready to launch. So myicopool.com, if you guys want to check it out yourself, it's pretty cool stuff. All right. Anyways, let's continue on. Sorry. Let's go. What's after ADA? Well, here's what's after ADA. So Chase customers finally are getting back their money from Coinbase. So as you guys remember, about, I think it was like 3 weeks ago now, we had people saying they were getting double charged on their Visa cards, on their MasterCards, and they didn't understand why they were getting double charged. And then we had Coinbase say it's the Visa's fault, and then Visa say, no, it's Coinbase's fault. It went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Well, turns out that earlier this week, the bank, so whose fault is it? The bank, again, the bank. Why do we love crypto? Because we don't like the bank. Huh? All right, good stuff. So, bank began refunding all the extra charges to customers. But here's the thing, the money can begin to quickly add up, and it's unclear if the same trends extend to other US banks. So it's very possible that it's not just Chase, it might be other ones that had the same exact issue with Coinbase. So it's not something huge, but it is something good to know that, you know, they are giving back people their money, which is nice because it would suck if they wouldn't, right? Right. So that's where we are with that. Any questions on the overcharging of people in this? Lame. What's lame? Oh, well, doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah. Next thing up on the menu for today is this. IOTA. So IOTA's co-founder is optimistic for the future of cryptocurrency and it being able to be expanded. Now, I've told you guys many times that IOTA, I have a friend who uses Tango every day with his Ubisoft company, which creates video games and application games and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, man, this is the greatest project out there. And I was like, why? And he's like, because it's better than everything else. It's different. So I was wondering, and I was like, okay, why? And I said, you know, it's only like $1.50 now. Is that a good project? Because people were buying it at $5. They're left with bags right now. And he was saying, no. That's all about the technology they have there. It's going to take time to develop. Same as blockchain. Blockchain is going to take time to develop. So we just have to be patient and relaxed. Okay. With markets like this, you have to just be learning. It's a learned behavior to be chill and not get too serious and like just relax. It will send you such better vibes over time. Trust me. So IOTA is a really, really cool foundation. And the goal is to do it different. It's not the typical cryptocurrency. It uses Tangle technology, which is really, really awesome for different types of businesses that use tech. But the thing is, many associated with drug dealers and dark businesses, and no bank wanted to give a company account. That was in 2013 when they wanted to start IOTA. Now, IOTA's been around for a lot longer than people actually realize. It's like Hashgraph. Hashgraph has also been around for a very long time as well. So it's good to know that. So, continuing on, what do you guys think about IOTA? I'm curious to have your opinion about where do you see IOTA going, and do you like or not like it, and what do you like and what do you not like about IOTA? Because I'm really curious to see how do people like IOTA. All right. So yeah, basically, I think IOTA has a really good future. Do I see it having its big run up in 2018? Maybe in the fourth quarter. I don't see it having a big run up before that. And there's a reason why I say that, and it's because the technology, it's out there, but not many people are really using it yet. I think it will be huge in the future, though. Once people start using the Internet of Things, and they start to basically, once people start using Tangle for what it's supposed to be used for, it's going to be massive. But the problem is right now, no one really uses it yet. There's some people using it, but once all the other companies start to actually use it regularly, that's when it's going to be huge. So Gershom says that IOTA will go big. I think IBM, Accenture, GE, all of IoT programs. Absolutely, very good link right there. Absolutely. So IBM is another huge one, and who is IBM's partner? XLM, Stellar Lumens. When IBM has 300 companies and 77 patents for blockchain technology out there already, dealing with companies with the likes of Walmart and others, pretty sure they're going to be huge. All right, IBM's going to be right back on the scene if Apple doesn't step it up with blockchain tech themselves. Okay, they don't have Steve Jobs anymore, so we'll have to see what happens with that. Because I haven't seen anything revolutionary since he's passed, right? And so let's wait to see where we go with it. So yeah, having contacts with all these different companies, I think IOTA will have a very, very big and very powerful future. Now, if you buy it now, you're looking to hold it for years, okay? So TC Taki asks, Electroneum. Okay, here's the thing about Electroneum. I was talking to my buddy, and my buddy's a developer, and he develops websites, and he develops games and bots and all this kind of stuff. And what I want to tell you is this. He told me yesterday that the first day Electroneum came out, he mined 3,000 of them. And then he said they started on block 0. How stupid are these people? He said that not one of the people on Electroneum's team actually is a proper web dev, and not even really have coding people on their team. So when you want to talk about Electroneum, I would say that it's probably one you stay away from at this point, because my guy who tells me, you know, he knows the tech side. I'm not like the super deep tech guy. He is. And what he told me is this, straightforward. He said, Joel, Electroneum has an idiotic team. He's like, I wish I had bought a lot of it when I first started and mined it like crazy and sold it, because I would have made so much money. Because they started on block 0, which means they have no idea what the hell they're doing. When my guy tells me that, I take it, and I take it exactly for what it was, and I said, all right, that's good. I'm not telling people to buy ETN then. Because if they don't really know how to set up their coin for success, how the hell are they going to be successful long term? And I only look long term. I don't look like 5 days, 10 days. I only do that for swing trading. But when I'm looking at a project, I want to look for it for a year or two, right? Maybe even 6 months. So yeah, that's what I think about Electroneum. Electroneum, yep. And you know, it might change in the future, but right now I don't see it having as bright a future as a lot of other people that have held it for a long time. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but you know, that's what I truly believe, and I always go with what I believe in. Okay. Any other questions about IOTA, or shall we move on? I think we shall move on. Okay. Next item up for bid. Finally, Japan is giving back their money. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but have you looked at Neem this week? Have you looked at Neem the last couple days? What you would probably notice is that it went up a ton until the most recent mini dip we're having right now. I'm not really sure why it's going down actually, but things are kind of coming up again too. It's kind of going up and down. The market's going sideways for some reason, but that doesn't matter. Neem, the people that got hacked from CoinCheck are actually getting their refunds back. Now remember, that's $530 million of Neem. That means that there's people that are going to buy it and sell it and put it back into the market. So $530 million will be able to go back into the market, which is going to affect it in a very positive way, is what I'm expecting anyways. Remember that at the top, Neem was 83 cents, and today it's just over 40, and now it's back under 30, under 39. So, you know, there are issues with CoinCheck, and I believe that they actually were one of the groups that they didn't actually get put on probation, but they have to meet certain standards over the next month or they're going to get shut down for good. So Japan's got a really good handle on regulating their exchanges, and this is why a regulated exchange is good, because that holds them accountable. Because if it's decentralized and unregulated, what will happen is you'll see just like this is exactly what's going to happen. You put your stuff in to make a trade, you make a trade, and then someone hacked the account or hacked that let's say it's a Ether Delta, they hack Ether Delta. What happens to your coins when they've hacked it? You don't have your private keys because they're on your Nano or your Exodus or your Jax wallet. So you don't actually have it. What does that mean for you? It doesn't mean good stuff for you. It means really bad stuff for you. Why does it mean bad stuff for you? Well, it means that they'll have your private keys and you won't. And as you guys know, you don't need to have someone's private keys to get screwed over from it. Sorry, you need to have someone's private keys to screw them over. So when a decentralized exchange exists, how are they going to make sure that you don't get hacked and your stuff gets stolen? That's my big question for all of the decentralized exchanges out there, is how do you ensure people's coins are safe? They can't, because it's decentralized. It means no one's overseeing it, right? So I love decentralized coins, but decentralized exchange, I like the idea, but I want to find out, are you going to keep our money safe? Or should we not use a decentralized exchange until they have that set up? So any of you guys using a decentralized exchange already? And any of you had a good experience with one of those in the past or in right now? So I'm curious to know what you're thinking. Tim says, is there a way to insure your investments in case they are hacked? As of right now, no. Japan has an insurance company that's doing something along those lines, but it's a high risk thing for an insurance company to even take on right now. Because why do they want to guarantee your $10,000 and then they get screwed over? So I look at it from that aspect and say, yeah, maybe that's not a good thing. So insure your investments, you're going to have to wait for that. What I actually just said the other day was, imagine a fully insured coin. Imagine an ICO that has insurance involved in it for tokens. An ICO that has an exchange with insurance built right in. I'm giving you guys some ideas right now because these are ideas that pop through my head all the time. Okay? That would be so awesome if we could ensure everybody's coins were going to stay where they should. I believe that deeply, deeply. So I'm sponsored by Puma today. Not actually. I'm just wearing a shirt. I just want to make it a little bit less serious. Okay? Now, what you guys can do for me. Basically, my goal right now is what I'm doing is to try to expand my network to more and more people. And the reason I'm trying to do that is because the ones of you that are watching me now, I keep saying like, oh, it's really helpful and I'm learning stuff. I want to continue that to keep going on. And the only way I can actually do that is with your help. So if you guys want to help me, just share this video to your family and friends so they learn about crypto, or share this video to a group that you know where there's a lot of people that are new in crypto. That's why I broadcast to the Crypto Warriors group, because there's a lot of people who need to learn in there. But the thing is, I also give you guys stuff that, you know, I give you guys analogies and things that I've done fundamentally analysis of the markets and think of what do I think happened, right? So hopefully all that stuff helps you learn, because I really care about you guys, and I really want all of us to have a safe and, you know, very keen and proper environment to learn in, and a place where no one feels like they can't have answer, it can't ask a question. So if someone asks a question in our group, please be nice, even if they don't know their stuff or they haven't done their research. It's really good to be nice to each other, because we are a community. We are not individuals here in this group, and so we should be treating each other with respect. Okay. So a couple more things before I leave. Number one, I have an ICO pool. Okay, so number one, I have an ICO pool called myicopool.com. Now, we're going to be starting our first ICO within the next probably 7 days. We're just waiting for our legal documents to come in so that we're fully compliant. Once we get all that done, we're going to jump right into an ICO. Any one of you guys that want to should start signing up to myicopool.com. Very basic stuff. It'll explain the whole process, all the stuff we're doing, and I'm working on getting my partnership contract so everyone can see it. So it's very transparent for everyone. And that's how we're going to do it. And I hope you guys like that, because I think that investing in ICOs is risky. A lot of them fail. And the thing about it is, the group that I'm working with, they send people directly to meet the CEOs, to check out the teams. They do background checks on the people in the company. They actually like do really extensive research, and then they invest between 10 and 15 million dollars in an ICO. Yeah, I'm not joking. The group I'm working with invests like half the freaking hard cap before that even ICO starts. So the stuff that we're into won't ever even make it to a public ICO. So that's what we're trying to offer you guys, is a way to get an ICO as you can't get in. And everyone here knows, if you don't do the right UGENI and you don't do the right gas when you're trying to buy into an ICO, sometimes you can't even get them, right? You send a transaction 1,000 times through your MU and it doesn't work. Well, what happens if we change that up and it actually isn't a problem, and you just tell us what you want and we get you it, right? All you have to do is invest 0.2 ETH and you're good to go. So if that interests you, please do keep your eyes open, but sign up to myicopool.com and get in on it, right? So next thing, I'm working right now on something that is awesome, and actually one of the members in our group had asked me to talk about it. So what I'm basically doing is what I'm basically doing is this. I work with a signaling group right now. Okay, what I'm gonna be creating is a bot, but not a normal bot. I'm gonna do a bot that actually trades signals. So usually the way bots work is they've had preset stuff that you set up, so that when it hits certain MACD or RSI and all that stuff links up, then it buys for you and sells for you, right? The thing about bots like that, it's really hard to make sure you program them right, and they have a very low daily return, like maybe like 0.5 to 1.3% a day, which is still not bad, but it's not great. And remember, those bots cost $1,000 to $1,500 to buy them, and then you have to still learn how to program them, right? So that's the issue. Now, here's what's really cool though. What I'm doing is working with my buddy's group, and we're gonna pay a good chunk of money for us to get signals, okay? Now, I've checked these signals out. They hit 95% of the time on average over the last 3.5 months, and that's including the dip, okay? That's what I'm trying to explain here, including the dip. So what I want to tell you is this. We're going to create a bot that trades TAFA signals, okay? So what it will do is it will get a signal, right, from me, and automatically anyone involved in our group will have already preset what percent they want to sell everything at, all this kind of stuff. And what they're going to do is it's automatically going to pick up the signal and see where it says buy. It's going to buy it at that zone, and it's going to automatically do it while you're sleeping, while you're at work, while anything. All the TA signals come on and automatically start sending, and we'll set it that it does 5 to 10% of your portfolio for your trading portfolio, and it trades that. And then when it hits 10% or so, it sells it. And then when it hits 10% again, the next trade, it sells it. And so you do like 3 or 4 trades a day at that. And some of them might take like a week. Some of them might take a day. Most of the time between 1 to 5 days. So imagine I told you I could basically, if you gave $5,000 to this bot that has T8 signals, it will make you money every single day while you do nothing. And we're only going to charge $100 a month for people to use it. And if you're a crypto warrior, you're going to get half off for your first month just because you're a crypto warrior, and we love you guys. So, yeah, if you're not a crypto warrior and you're watching this video, go to Facebook and join Crypto Warriors as our group. We're awesome. I literally, no joke, today woke up to a message from our admin saying, "Hey, Joel, you won the tipper contest." And I was like, "What's that again?" He's like, "You know, the guessing the Bitcoin." And I guessed Bitcoin between, it was like $3 off, right? And I ended up finding out that the contest I just won is 10 Ethereum worth of tipper. So I just won that much tipper, or that much ETH, through doing a contest in our group. So if you guys don't participate in them, you should. They're freaking awesome. And Ken Crothers has been doing this kind of stuff since the start in 2013. So you guys got to get in on it or get out, one or the other. Okay. Now, other than the bot, I'm just going to leave you guys on one last thing I want to talk about, and it's about my country that I'm living in. So, in Thailand, they're actually pushing the laws to regulate and legalize cryptocurrency. So, a lot of people hate regulation. I don't really like it, but I understand it. Okay. Now, what this will do for cryptocurrency in Thailand is it make it completely mainstream. You want to talk about mass adoption? We're gonna see it. We're gonna see that in Thailand faster than in most other places, I believe, because they are just so pro. Like here, they love crypto, and we already have deals with OMG for the whole country's financial sector, and we have another deal with Power. So this country is moving very hard towards the blockchain because it makes a lot of things that we already do here very simple. Now, another thing they're really going to do is get the ICO-friendly securities exchange, and so it's going to be expected to be finalized. So they're working with the SEC to make regulated ICOs, which is really good. The SEC Secretary Grab Shuchahal has revealed that the royal decree is commonly seen as the path to empower the SEC to regulate all aspects of the crypto sector, including cryptocurrency exchange and ICO fundraising. Okay, so Thailand's Securities and Exchange Commission is basically all for it. They like crypto, but all they want to do is make sure of one thing, that no scammy crap happens. Now, people may say Thailand is not a first world country, but trust me, it's a lot more first world than you realize, because they've got the first big bust on the dark web. A guy had 100,000 Bitcoin plus and other stuff in his house, and they found him on the dark web. So people who think Thailand is just a small country without very much development, you need to come here and see for yourself. It's a very forward-thinking country, and they're moving and doing lots of stuff with the infrastructure here. But what I'm trying to get to is all that stuff that they're doing is to actually make this country a very safe place for digital assets, and that's awesome. So go Thailand for being very proactive and forward-thinking in terms of this stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all the topics for today. I will let you guys have a few minutes because I'm on a small delay to ask any questions that you'd like to ask, and I will definitely be here to answer all of your questions. And yeah, so I'm curious to see what it is. What is a FA signal? Okay, Surin. TA is technical analysis. So when you guys read the chart and you see like the lines with the waves, Elliott waves going up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or like the A, B, C, D, those are called TA, right? So it's technical analysis, watching what will happen based off of patterns, right? Then FA is fundamental analysis. So when you look at all the stuff surrounding the coin, is there a hard fork coming up? Is there an airdrop coming up? Is the coin gonna fork and to do something new? You know, are they making a new partnership? Is there any special news about them? So when you mix fundamental and even chronological, like looking at the past years, what's happened, you look at chronological analysis, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis. So you have 3 things to give you a very clear picture to connect the dots to see, yes, this is a good or not a good play. So TA and FA are the way that the whales and the way that people who trade make money. So having a bot do all the work for you is pretty sweet, and that's kind of the thing we should do. So Tim asked, how long have I lived in Thailand? I've been here for now 6 years, going on 7, and I've been in Korea before that for 2 years before that as a teacher. And I'll remember, guys, I'm an educator, number one. I work in an international school teaching business, entrepreneurship, marketing, promotion, and also teach social studies. And it's what I love to do, man. I love living out here. It's a great place to live. And here's the thing, you guys could always come check me out because it's a great place to visit on vacation too. So I do enjoy living out here. People are really friendly. It's a land of smiles. So you see a lot of people smiling and happy, and it's really a pleasurable place to live. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for tonight. I would love to get, oh, did I ever end up checking out OCN? Mar, I will check OCN tomorrow. I just got, I had to do a bunch of stuff today, and I was working at the school, and in the end of the day, there's only so much time, and I ran out of time to do it today. Now, that's no excuse. I understand that, but I will be, it's on my list, and we're going to be doing that tomorrow very likely, as well as an ICO review we're going to do tomorrow, and you're going to start seeing the format of the show is going to change, but for the better. So we're going to start doing like a coin of the day, an ICO of the day, some FUD and news of the day, predictions of the day. Not predictions like price prediction, but like what we think might happen based off of fundamental analysis, and just looking at the whole picture at once. So that's kind of the stuff that I've been working on, and I find that it's really going to help a lot of people to know where we're going and where we want to be. So, you know, I'm gonna be giving you more and more and more as this goes on. I just need you guys to, you know, if you want to help, that'd be great. If you've done your OCN research and you know it very well, I would love to see your research so that I can, you know, learn from you too, because I don't know everything in this market, because if you did, you'd be someone that doesn't actually exist in this world. No one knows everything in this market. There's too many coins. So no excuses. I will check OCN for tomorrow, absolutely. And I will get back to you on that. So sir, and you're asking how much are you looking for your bot? So here's the cool thing. We're going to do it a subscription based instead of doing it any other way. And the reason why we're looking at doing subscription based with an automatic timeout is that you just install it on your computer, and if you don't pay the monthly fee of $50 to $100 depending on what you're using it for, we're going to start at $50 at the start as a bonus, as a discount, and then we're gonna add it. We're gonna make it go up to $100 once people see it works, and you guys will see it works. Trust me. If you had seen all the plays that have been called, you'd understand why I'm like, yes, this is awesome. It's really, really awesome. And so I just want you to know that. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you all for coming out, and please do share this video. The more people that can see the video, the more people that can get into crypto and start learning a few things about it. And yeah, what I want you also guys to do when you have a chance to do it, start putting questions about things that you want to learn about cryptocurrency. For example, I did a show last week about what is proof of stake and what is proof of work, and how does that work for miners, right? That's one of the things that I can teach you guys. There's many other things I could teach you guys, like what is a blockchain, how does it work, all these different types of things. So I want you guys, if there's stuff that you really don't understand or don't know, to start asking, whether you message me personally, you leave a message on my Facebook page, or anything like that. Please do it, because I do believe that we're gonna get there. So coming back to this image over here, you don't want to end up in jail because of Bitcoin, right? Who wants to end up in jail because of Bitcoin? Nobody. So just remember that if you're trying to hack Binance, not only are they going to catch you and steal your coins, but they're actually going to screw you over and try to get you in jail and pay people to rat on you, which is probably the greatest idea ever, because that's what people will do. My Facebook group is actually linked to this page called Cryptocurrency Education. And if you go and look up crypto education, you go to my page, you can go to groups, and you'll see my group is actually linked. So you can just add on yourself. And I'll be posting different kinds of stuff in there as well. So I haven't forgot, tomorrow I'm going to show you guys the difference between a bull and bear market, because I think it's really cool. And I can't do it today because I have to use 2 computers, and it's on one computer, not on the other. So that's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say. So I'll see you guys all tomorrow. If you have any questions, you do know where to find me: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you want to find me, I'm around. So link me up. I'm here for you. I love all you guys. And remember, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So be tough, because the market is doing this right now. And it's just like Sonic the Hedgehog when you played when you were a kid on the 64. And what happens right after that? It goes choo. So that's exactly what we're going to probably see in the next week or two. I really, truly, bullishly believe that. And you can see that by a $1,500 increase today from yesterday. Now it's down to $9,400. Let's just check the market out before I leave. And what I want you all to know is this: there is never a bad day in crypto unless you sell when you're at loss. Keep that in mind. All right. So you guys have an awesome day, and do what you do. Life is really good, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Mr. Joel, your cryptocurrency educator, signing off for tonight. Have a great evening, everyone.